Hey guys, how you all doing? Today is Debbie and Deraa, and welcome to another challenge from us. And this time around, we're here with an amazing individual. He's a friend of ours, and he's also a businessman. So he works from home as well. So we want to pry into his head. How does he live? How does he work? How does he make his money? And guess what? He has also been a huge content creator. Most of you already know him. He's Bookie's King. So no further ado, let's head into the video.
So, could you give us a short intro about yourself?
Okay, an intro about myself.
Yeah.
I live for a living. Anyways, my name is Bookie's King, yeah, and I'm the CEO of Flames Media, Bookie's Traders Hub, and Gamblers.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, nice to have you here. Okay, so we're curious about some things about you. I hope you don't mind if we get to ask
Yeah,
questions.
sure.
Okay. Are you still into content creation? I've not seen your videos in a while.
I wanted to come to that. I'm not actually. I think I make content,
Yeah.
but I'm not like in the field of content creating.
Yeah.
Why? Because as you all know, I own a media agency.
That's
So we pay a lot of people for videos, right? And most times we find out that these videos don't really convert. So instead of us spending so much money while we are in the testing phase, paying people for videos that don't convert, I then felt like, okay, since I'm not shy on that camera, I can do the same videos myself, test out routines, and I'm somebody like to explore. So I have to explore the content field, learn how it operates, make the videos myself with my team,
Yeah.
use social media and promote it. So I'm not like really shooting content for people to really feed on. I'm shooting content to help convert sales for brands that I work with.
Oh, that makes a lot of sense. That makes a lot of sense.
Okay, so would you advise young people to go into content creation, or is it oversaturated?
I don't think anything is oversaturated because we have that word that they say the sky is so big for everybody to fly, right?
Yeah.
So, and if we say it was oversaturated, it would have been that way since it came, because as you know, very soon we'll evolve to maybe another social media that will come up, just like TikTok.
Yeah.
You know, there are many that are coming up, right? There are people that have a lot of visions, and this media, this page, this space will surely evolve to greater things, right?
Yeah, that's
So I don't feel it's oversaturated. All I see is you being unique in your own niche, trying to be, you can do the same thing but make it better and add some element of beauty to what you're doing. So people will always, when they think of you, they don't think of you as general, they think of you as you. So I think that could help.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Okay. Currently, could you just speak about the businesses you're running, like some intro of how your daily operation looks like, the day in the life of Bookies? What is that like?
Okay. I always tell people this thing, why you're trying to be successful.
Yeah.
I don't think I'm successful, but I think I'm doing well. But why you're trying to be successful, you have to fix in a lot of things. People only see the bookies that is spending money or going out and snapping pictures, doing videos. They don't see the bookies just like this, you know.
Yeah.
Right? So we try our best to show success out there, the beauty out there, and do lots of work inside, right?
Yeah.
That's what we are made up for. So all I would say is my day in life is very simple. I wake up, I pray. After praying, I do my workout. After working out in the morning, most times I don't go to the gym. I work out myself when I'm having intensive work. Then I have a lot of brands, actually. Gambola is more or less sport betting. We give out sport analysis, help people make money through sports.
Yeah.
Then BTH, Bookies Traders Hub, is more or less crypto and forex trading.
Yeah.
Flames Media is in the media brand, the channel that helps to make these other brands work. It's like the engine room. That's where the content comes in, the graphics, the adverts, the marketing and everything. That's the brain of promotion of other brands. The e-commerce side is also there. I also have a team for procurement, which is importing and exporting of goods in Nigeria to any other places. So There's so much that I actually do if you want to break them down. But my day in life is very simple. After praying, workout, check my PC for what my team has done, review, attend to things I'm building, make my phone calls, cook, come back, watch movie a bit, go back to work. The same cycle, just like that. I don't really have much time for friends and family, but I try my best to also create those schedules also, so the life won't be too boring for myself.
Yeah.
And that's where you now see me on the internet.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, so you did mention quite a lot, and I'm really curious. How do you go about all of this? Because on social media, a couple of people like locking on one, then going to others. But you said quite a number of things. How do you stretch yourself out into that?
If I'll try to elaborate on that, I see myself as a growth machine.
Yeah.
Right? I don't like to limit myself. So what I did is, like, I started with Bookies Club, which is Gambolas now.
Yeah.
I started that, if I'm not mistaken, 7 years ago. So, and I don't keep myself in a box where I'm not going to explore or be free in. So I usually have good ideas. Sometimes if things don't work out well for you, think of something better, something you feel you need to learn.
Yeah.
It could be a skill to enhance your brand.
Yeah.
So I left Bookies Club, I paused it, and I went into Flames Media.
Yeah.
I found out that if I have a media brand that can really help me cut down a lot of costs with paying media buyers and everything, and I'm an expert in it, I can run multiple brands. So after being successful in Flames Media, working under people, learning, I was doing the whole running around there and, learning courses, studying graphic design, a lot of stuff, right? Freelancing, I did all those stuff, built my knowledge, and then I came back to Bookies Club to bring back that brand. While I was doing that, I had ideas of trading and the rest. I had ideas of, just like that.
Yeah.
So now what I do is I always tell people this thing, a soldier wins battles, an army wins wars.
Yeah.
I now had to liquidate my surrounding, the kind of friends I work with, people I talk with.
Yeah.
I had to bring like minds of smart people like me. We came together. I built a team. So with a team, that's why Gambolas is working, BTH is working, this is working, Flames Media is working, and I don't really have to do too much.
So delegation is the superpower there.
Yes, it is.
Nice. So how can a person grow to be able to, because I remember you stated something about managing and also overseeing what your teams are doing. Is there a system you have in place to know that, okay, this aspect or this project or brand you have is lagging, and be able to keep them at par, or so that you don't get overwhelmed with so many tasks going on? Do you have systems in place?
As well, no matter the system you create, right? No matter the system you create, as a CEO, you must be overwhelmed.
Yeah.
That's why you're an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
You take risks for a living.
Yeah.
You don't expect everything to be easy for you.
Yeah.
So all I just do is, if they are doing all the work, I watch. I have the eyes, right? I see the vision of what we are building.
Yeah.
If it's something that is not going to go well at where we are, I have to find a way, think through it, and find a cheat code to make that work. Maybe move in a separate way, right? All those stuff, those are what we actually do. So it's never really too easy for us. But the system there is, get people that are smart enough to work in that system, utilize them. When you have a bracket of very smart people, you give them the tasks, free them. Don't over pressurize them or contain them. Allow them, they're going to do wonders for you.
Yeah.
When you have people that are not too smart, you nurture them, teach them, right? And teach them. Once they become smart, you allow them to explore. That's how it is to build a team.
Wow, that's powerful. So if you have smart people, give them the tasks, let them be. But then if you have people who are inexperienced, then you want to nurture them. And when you see that their capacity has increased,
Yeah.
you want to give them some buffer room and just watch what they're doing. That's great. That is an amazing system, honestly. Okay.
Okay, so how can you advise entrepreneurs that are starting to stand out in their business? Like, because many people have businesses and you have competitors. So how can you advise someone to be able to stand out in what he does?
Okay, how I can advise people to stand out in their craft?
Yeah.
As I said earlier, try your best to be unique in your craft.
Yeah.
We have a lot of ongoing projects currently that we've not yet told the public. But one thing I just tell people to do in their craft is, you know how to do something, you have passion in something, right? There are thousands of people that do the same thing you want to do, that either are bigger than you or are starting in the same phase you are in. So how do you be different? That's your task to think of. Do you understand? So for you to actually stand out in your craft,
Yeah.
you have to stand out in your ideas. You have to be better in your ideas. You have to add skills, add things that could make people always see you as relevant, because relevance is one of the most important things. You may not be so special in a space, but because of just one skill or one ability you have, it makes you irresistible. It gives you this resilience in that space.
Yeah.
So for me, let me break it down very easy for the viewers. If you're cooking, now you see the restaurants, right? The regular restaurants, they cook 100 naira, 500, 1000 naira meal,
Yeah.
right? But when you go to an expensive restaurant, you see the plates they use,
Yeah.
the way they welcome you, the hospitality, right?
Yeah.
You see what they add up, the top ones, the extra drinks, everything, the space, the AC. That makes them different. That's the idea.
Yeah.
You understand?
Yeah.
You can do the same thing, but you try your best to add things to give what you do relevance.
Yeah.
That will always make you stand out in what you're doing. You get? You can be teaching about how to be a good baseball player, but once you start adding tips and tricks, if you're playing baseball, these are the discipline, these are things you need, the foundation. You're trying to limit the knowledge, increase the knowledge, adding courses, adding a lot of information, PDFs, things people can go back to looking on how to be a good baseball player. You're adding more relevance. But if you just come and just teach about how to be a good baseball player without a lot of all these extra little things, if you pay attention to the most minimal details of anything, it adds more relevance to you, and that way you can always stand out.
So adding the toppings is what makes the flavor of
Yeah.
a beautiful entrepreneur.
Okay, so what if the toppings doesn't meet up with your profit?
Okay, profit is what, before you think of profit, you have to think of operation.
Yeah, because it depends on your audience, the people that see your work. So what if the people that you are surrounded by in that like the area of your environment cannot like afford what you want to offer to them?
What I would say is, everybody cannot patronize you in your marketplace. There are people meant for you.
Yeah.
You have millions of people on the internet. Everybody can always patronize you in what you do. But you can give it a leverage, a limit, and add some features to it that will make them always build to want to work with you. For example, I don't know if we're allowed to call names or brands.
Yeah, sure.
Jameson has Jameson Black, Jameson Green, Jameson Blackberry. Sometimes they have the same taste, but different packaging. One is quality, one is better, and one is super. Different pricing. So if you can't afford the Blackberry, you go for the green, right?
So yeah. Okay,
So-
so we try to make it reach out to everybody, both the ones that cannot afford the
Like
fine.
ATS system.
Okay, let me
Yeah.
teach you. Let me say something. In terms of sales, if you're talking about sales, now we are going to shift the knowledge a bit to sales marketing. If you're talking about sales is a wild space that there are preys and predators, right? But for you to be smart enough to sell any kind of product, always offer something for free. Offer something for free. Get people to come in at a trial cost. Trial. After they do the trial and see it's relevant, you upsell. For example, you want to sell a course, right? You do a video, talk to people about your upcoming course, an alarming video in the next 7 days. On the 7th day, you run your ads talk about that video. Maybe you're hosting a free webinar. In that webinar, you give people about the breakdown of everything that you want to sell, right? Then people now know about everything. You tell them the do's and don'ts.
Many people, when they direct this school, the phrase "school is calm," they talk about it in the aspect of like when you study medicine or law, you come out and there's no opportunity for you. So I think
Okay.
that is where they direct that statement. Though.
Sometimes there are things you see that and you know that you can't really advise some people when they are really stuck in a position. That's why I see it as a human being. When you're in a position where you don't have options, it is a very dangerous path. So imagine that kind of person now you're telling them to go and start something like content creation. They'll be like, what did they talk? You understand? Because they know what they've passed through in that school system. Maybe they have first class, those kind of stuff. But something about life is majority of us that are built for a position, we may be making money in that niche, but that's not actually where we're supposed to be going. But that may not be where our money is. Do you understand? Some doctors, I don't know if destiny plays, we are not supposed to be doctors. Maybe they could be presidents. So once you have that mindset of no matter the situation you're in, you need to fix it. You need to find a solution to it. You find out that school is not scam, right? You're a doctor and maybe you don't have a job. It doesn't work out well for you. You can still study content creation and teach people about health. Right?
That's true.
Teach people workout, how to work out, do videos on workouts, tell them about drinks, study about research about medicines and stuff like that. Educate your audience about the knowledge you know. And then you could still make money from it. You understand?
That's true.
So
Okay. So we should not just be like circle our mind on only the aspect of when you are done with school, you find a job. So
anybody that is always saying school is scam, I understand their pain, but it is fallacy.
okay.
So it's actually more of an exposure thing. Because, if we, a couple of times they do bring in the foreigners, being those from US and UK who get to drop out. But if we talk about exposure, because what led to my entrepreneurial mindset and shift was the exposure I got while I was a child. I always frequent wealthy people houses. Like every Sunday, I'm from one big man house in church to the next big man house. And what I mean by that is that we're going from one location to the next location, from Shell Club to Total Club to Genesis Cinema to Spa. One Spa opened in Port Harcourt. So we were going everywhere, and we'll be having these conversations talking about how opportunities happen. I'll be asking them questions on how did they get the money to build this, because I was always curious about how money comes through. And at that point, it came to a point where I had one conversation with a friend of mine, and I asked him, if you were to meet your favorite musician, I asked him, what was your favorite musician? He said his favorite musician was Whiskey. And I said, what would you ask him for? He said he would just ask for a picture. I was like, why? Wouldn't you ask him to pay your school fees? And he said, what for? He asked me, why would he do that? Because his father can pay his school fees. But for me, school fees was always an issue, right? So I was like, what about he gives me a scholarship? I was like, my favorite musician should give me a scholarship, right? That was my mindset back then. But now, if I see my favorite musician, I would rather want to have a contact, think of business opportunities to do. I won't want to ask him for any money or anything. That's retarded because of the exposure and the mindset I've gotten over time. So when I hear people saying school is scam, and then try and compare it with people in first world countries with crazy level of exposure who had to drop out and knew that if they didn't drop out, guys, I want to tell you something. They took a gap year. They didn't end their schooling. It means that if they went out to do business, if it fails, they'll come back and restart their education. If you go deeper into the details of those stories, you get to see it. None of them dropped out. Their education is still open. If they want to go back or whatever they were venturing into failed, they'll just go back and complete their MSc or BSc. As simple as that. Yeah. But you don't have that opportunity and you don't even have that exposure. You don't even have that level of awareness. So one of those beautiful things schools give you, or default walls of education gives you is exposure, a different mindset, a bigger mindset. You get to meet other people, you get to think differently. And I will tell you, you should embrace that. And after you embrace it, think of how to utilize all both the books and also the information you gather through school to create a unique story about yourself and use that to impact the world. That's just
Yeah.
summary of everything we've been saying.
Yeah. I There are a lot of knowledge in between the school,
Yeah.
the scam, where it is generating from. There are a lot of it has its own foundation.
Yeah.
You know about the Rockefeller family, how they built the school system to reduce wealth in families. Before the men go out to work, come back home, the women stay, give birth and take care of the family.
That's true.
Then they took the women's stuff. Okay, yes, women want to work too. What the men can do, we can do. They started employing women, cut down the check from maybe if a man was earning $100, it's now $50. The woman is now $50.
Yeah.
Now the woman doesn't need to. She cannot always care for the kids. Who takes care of the kids? The maid. You now need to employ a maid. If the maid is there, the kids need to be educated to work, so they now have to go to school.
Yeah.
You're earning less, your wife's earning less, you pay the maid and you still pay school fees. You now work more. You're now in a cycle. Those kids now go to school, now make money to come back, give birth, then still in the same cycle too. Still earning less, the whole family, everybody's in the cycle. So the problem of that schooling scam thing is crazy. And I understand where most people save from experience and most people save from knowledge.
Yeah.
Those that save from knowledge may know about all this stuff you're talking about. That's why they want to break the chain of being in that cage. You understand? So there are a lot of ways to leverage into making money, right? You can be a doctor, make some money, and own a business.
Yeah.
You are building wealth. Do you get? You can be something, make some money, own that thing. It's not everybody that is meant to be an entrepreneur.
That's true.
You understand? Because if we take off school from the logic, everybody won't still make money.
That's true.
Because most people will not be able to buy your product. Most of your products are for civil servants. Most of your products are for working class people.
Yeah.
So what I can say is, whatever stage you're in, what your mission is in, what your vision is in, always try your best to explore, expand your knowledge, to be able to have multiple sources. You get?
Yeah.
Even the Garden of Eden has 3 sources, water coming through. So you can have 3 sources of income.
Yeah. That's amazing.
It will make you now understand that you don't need to give up in any scenario you find yourself. You have to be positive and willing to keep on going in any niche you're in. That could be your passion. All of us have failed in businesses. I failed 6 times, if I'm not mistaken. I failed 6 times. The 3rd time I cried and everything, my mom advised me and everything, but it's crazy. So I failed 6 times. I tell people the story. Most of my friends know the story. Majority of them are advised in businesses, scaled through. It was working. Mine wasn't working. I was like, to an extent, I felt like, is God even real? Why will I be, what am I serving God for? It got to that stage. Do you understand? So, but what I kept doing was, I never felt that what I was doing is the wrong thing. I kept learning, studying, trying my best to make what I love work out for me. Do you understand? Because I had a passion for it. But don't forget, I was doing Bookies Club, stopped it, went to Flames Media, only to build back Bookies Club. Yeah. Right? So learn to also give yourself options to make sure that if you truly think your passion is this, you can still fuel it when it's needed. Right? You can have 100 businesses, 50 businesses, 30 businesses. You can sell companies. You can be a salesperson and still you're into law. You can have different skills and you're still into law. You still make money here and you're still into law. Right? So try your best to work on yourself. Have resilience. Resilience is the ability to adapt. get, and never stop, is to adapt to setbacks, problems, right? And you're going. Resilience is you up and down, no matter the pressure, you're always there. That's resilience.
That's amazing. Wow. Okay. So, okay, this has been amazing. I think we've covered everything, right? From the confusing aspect of business, how to start, and the misconceptions which comes from the poorly phrased narratives of school is scam.
Yeah.
And I think some other time we speak about the Olodo culture, but for today, I think we'll just call it a day. And is there any other thing else you just want to tell our audience before we leave?
Okay. I see you guys know I don't know anything. I'm an Olodo. But anyways, I just if I'm to advise or motivate,
Yeah.
all I would say is you own yourself. You have the power of yourself, and there's nobody that can change you except you. Whatever you want to do is you.
Yeah.
Whatever you fall into is you. That's why if you go now and kill somebody, you are the one going to jail.
Yeah.
You understand? If there's a recording and you and somebody's there, who killed the person is the one going to jail, right?
Yeah.
So everything in this life operates around choices. Try your best to always pray. Make sure you make the right choices. Work towards it endlessly. People always tell you not giving up, don't give up, don't give up, don't give up. I understand that the word may sound saturated, but try your best to list down your goals. I won't tell you not give up, because sometimes I myself I almost give up. So write down the list of things you love, list of maybe your bad habits. Look at them. Okay, only even saying it is mad. Anytime you talk and just say it is mad, do you know it's a bad habit?
Yeah, that's a bad habit.
Write down all your funny bad habits. Try to start slashing and limiting them by stopping them.
Yeah.
Try your best and be stopping them. What you're doing is like punishing yourself and giving you that mindset of I can't do it.
Yeah.
If they say smoking is a bad habit, I can stop smoking. Once you've conquered it, you mark it. You're not giving yourself that ability of I can, right? Start giving yourself the ability of I can. Fix yourself, your manners, your habits, discipline yourself in whatever niche you're in. Once you're doing this, you see that your body is adapting to success. And that way, whenever you want to do something, you're always going through pressure. It
Yeah.
actually helps.
That's amazing.
So
Honestly, actually, what he said, I have a list, and there was a time my girlfriend went through my journal and she saw my list, right? She was like, "What's this one? I used to do this one," and so
Okay.
it's real. I have a full list on my journal. It goes pages and pages, and I was like, "Oh, I've conquered this one." I remember when I was still doing this one, and we are just having conversation.
Currently, we are in July.
Yeah,
This is the 6 months. I always hang around with my friends,
yeah,
but in the 6 months, we all separate.
yeah,
It's a thing we always do. It's like our discipline time. So now what we do is on the 6 months is we've been together a lot of the time, right? We now look January to July. What have we done? All the things we wrote down on our paper for the year, have we achieved it? We don't want to go into December and start praying again that God make 2027. We have the power to do all these things ourselves. God gives us that motivation and heals us from our pain, right? So we separate, work towards what we've been willing to do all this time, push hard, see if we can at least stick out 80% of what we've done from now to probably October. And then you see everybody coming back and doing our thing. By then we will know that we are done for the year.
yeah.
We achieved something.
Yeah, that's amazing. Thank you very much for
sure.
all this amazing business and life advice. Guys, these are all legit stuff, right? You saw I also confirmed them because I've been doing them as well. I have had my down periods where I was like, oh no, I really wanted to quit everything. And I came to like realize that I had some bad habits which were keeping me back. And I wrote them out and I was cutting it's so ridiculous. If you see them, you'll be like, this one self is bad habit. Just like you said, swearing. I remember back then I had a thing of entitlement. I was like, nah, I can never be entitled to anything anybody owns. And it took me about 2 years to cut it off. But now no matter what any of my friend have or doesn't have, I don't even remotely think I am entitled or I have a share of 1% in it, except we have a contract. Else, oh man, good for you. There's no, and that takes away jealousy, envy, and it also makes you want to work and also make you love people genuinely. So yeah, thank you very much, Bukis, for
For
sharing
sure.
this. Okay, guys. So catch you in our next episode. Well, the next one is going to be with a digital marketer. Most people have been saying digital marketing is dead. So we're going to meet with my friend Dixon, and he's going to tell us whether that is the truth or not. So until then, I want to tell you guys about our sponsor. We're working with Aquafunded. They're a prop firm which you can trade with. We're currently on our 50 million Naira challenge, the Debbie and Deraa challenge. We're trading with your Profile account. So guys, you can use the link in the bio or you see this referral code Trader Deraa. Use it to get your Aqua funded account and get your trading started. I don't want to hear you guys went with another firm and you got payout denials or you're dragging your prop firm on social media. For your own peace of mind, just go with a good firm like Aqua Funded. Catch you guys in our next video.